Well, you guys asked for it, and here it is. The frequently requested, long awaited, sometimes promised, Nobushi guide. For those of you who already know me and watch my streams, you guys know that this is going to be a great guide. But for those of you who don't, my name is Lightning Count. I am an avid Nobushi player who started way back in 2017 during the closed beta, and I hit Grandmaster on my ranked placements in Season 7. With the introductions out of the way, let's get right down into the nitty-gritty, going over everything good that the Nobushi has to offer. True to the label of hybrid, the Nobushi sports solid defensive and offensive capabilities. Her hidden stance gives her great defensive options as well as a few offensive ones, and her passive perk, Way of the Shark, means that when your opponent gives you an inch, you take a mile. Combine these two factors with her kick, which is a very strong part of her offense, as well as her long reach, and she seems like a very strong character. But you can't have strengths without weaknesses, and as a trade-off, the Nobushi has a comparatively low health pool, high stamina consumption and hampered regeneration, as well as telegraphed attacks that are really easy to parry if the opponent is paying attention. Keeping all of this in mind, when talking about the 1v1 tier list, the Nobushi sits herself comfortably in the middle, not too great and not awful. In the neutral game, the Nobushi doesn't actually have too many efficient ways to open up an opponent, at least not when compared to the top tiers. This means that she has to rely on either the opponent attempting to parry often enough that she can get a guard break or some other kind of punish, or the opponent throwing out some offensive moves that can be countered. Standard Nobushi play in the neutral game accounts for this with a very hybrid playstyle. You'll be utilizing hidden stance to punish your opponent's use of unblockables and other openers, as well as poke them with lights to open their guard, then use heavies and feinted heavy guard breaks to catch their attempts to parry. Now the occasional Cobra Strike or Viper's Retreat can be good, but don't be too dependent on it because they have very distinct animations, and if your opponent is paying attention they can counter it pretty easily with a parry or a dodge or anything in between really. With all this being said, let's look at some examples. So, now that I've shown you guys how the Nobushi operates in the neutral game, let me break it down a little bit and show you the moves step by step so you know the options that you have when you pick her up. Switch between lights and heavies to poke at your opponent's guard and mess with their parry timings. Throw in occasional guard breaks to catch dashing characters such as Warden. If you're feeling confident, use Viper's Retreat, Sidewinder Stance, and Cobra Strike sparingly. Utilize heavy feint guard break to catch parries or dodges. Extend your pressure by opening up with a light or heavy before feinting into a guard break. If your opponent is stoic, try poking into a kick, and then following up with a guaranteed light if the kick connects. The end leg of the bleeding lights can also be cancelled by a dodge. Cancel the startup of your light or heavies with hidden stance in order to get a punish. This will usually be a double light or a kick, as heavies are usually too slow. Last but not least, you can hard feint a heavy out of hidden stance to go for a guard break. Now that we have most of the neutral options covered, the punish game is next. Knowing your punishes is the most important aspect in doing well with any character, Nobushi included, so let's go over them. To start off, respond to light parries with a top heavy. From this heavy you can do a couple of different things. For example, kick into light. The kick can also be delayed by just a little bit to throw your opponent off. If your kick sends the opponent into a wall or an obstacle, you can do another top heavy and threaten with another kick or heavy feint guard break. Finally, hard feint the heavy attack to get another guard break and keep them in the same position. For heavy parries, use Viper's Retreat to keep the bleed capped on your opponent. Additionally, you can dash afterwards into a Sidewinder or Cobra Strike if you feel your opponent is unable to defend. Otherwise, if the bleed is capped and you have the stamina, use Zone Attack instead. Be sure to cancel the second hit of Zone as it is very easily parryable. If the opponent attempts to parry, you can immediately dash after the feint into another Cobra Strike or Sidewinder. Against opponents out of stamina, guard breaks into throws will be your highest source of damage. If there's no wall nearby, throw the enemy forward and do a delayed Cobra Strike, then dash and top heavy. If there is a wall nearby, forward throw into Cobra Strike, then perform a top light into kick, and get the free guaranteed top heavy off the wall noise. The timing for this is pretty tight, so don't be worried if you don't get it the first time around. Finally, if there's a wall behind your opponent and he is bleeding, forward throw into double top heavy instead. If you don't get the timing on the first heavy just right, he'll either get up early and be able to parry, or the first one will whiff completely. Last but not least, we have a special property with Hidden Stance. If a heavy out of Hidden Stance is blocked or connects for damage, Nobushi can get a guaranteed kick into Cobra Strike. This is because the opponent is still in hit stun after connecting with the heavy. If they dodge, the kick is not guaranteed. And now, the most important part of Nobushi's kit, Hidden Stance. Now, Hidden Stance is a very simple move, which makes it very easy to explain. When entering Hidden Stance, you have Dodge property. This means that when used effectively, Hidden Stance is the perfect tool for dealing with unblockables and 50-50 mix-ups. The fact that you can dodge out of Hidden Stance is just icing on the cake. However, there is a small downside. After exiting Hidden Stance, Nobushi's stamina regeneration is completely halted for approximately 3 seconds. This makes it a great tool that is also very costly to spam, so don't get too crazy with spamming Hidden Stance. With that being said, there's not really much else to go over with the Nobushi. Your success is going to be directly related to how comfortable you are with using all of her tools in certain situations. Now, matchup knowledge and familiarity is going to take a whole other video to explain because there's so much to talk about. So stay tuned for that and hit the subscribe button to be notified when I post videos. You can also follow me at twitch.tv/lightningcount to get notifications when I go live and also be part of the community. I really hope you guys enjoyed this rundown, and I'll leave you with the end of this match. Thanks for watching, guys. Ubisoft's idea of a rework is to add in an unblockable. I mean, honestly, Deep Silver, if everybody had a kind of unblockable that they could initiate or like use to like pressure with, I think the game might be better. More characters would be viable.
Round 3.
That punish made you moist? Alright, maybe I'll never do the punish again.
Victory.
Keep it fresh, keep it fresh, keep it moving. I'm honestly not sure, Deep Silver, about the specifics. All I know is that its tracking is insane right now. And he's less reliant on it because he has the top unblockable. Oh, I missed! What a disaster. Dude, if he just let it rip, he would have hit me. Fuck. I didn't think the Hidden Stance was soon enough. Fucking hell, dude. We did it, boys!
Victory.